Major.
Oh, you'll have to say why. You'll have to say
I like him. I think he's a decent person. I like John Major, in spite of everybody else's groaning and rowling.
another question. Yes, I'll ask you a question. What do you think is most lacking in society now than it was when you were growing up, say between 24?
I think a sense of security, really, because you're sort of half scared of lots of things now. I know they say that the fear is worse than the thing itself, that people are more fearful than they need to be. But I mean, we used to go out, we never locked the doors, and Nicky used to be able to go at 10 with a Red Rover and go anywhere he liked all over London on his own, and he used to go to school and back on his own, and all that, and that sort of thing can't happen now.
But I mean, that's interesting, because you lived through the war.
Yes.
That must have been absolutely terrifying.
Oh, I see. You asked me what was different now, though.
Yes, what is different now, but from when you were growing up, you must have had that sense of insecurity when the war was on, surely.
Oh, you were very sort of, but it wasn't. You were very, very frightened at certain times, but other times you put it out of your mind. I was much more insecure after I'd had the baby than I was before, because you were insecure then, because instead of knowing when there was an air raid, which you did when you had bombs or if you had doodlebugs, with those other wretched things, you didn't know when they were coming, because they'd come before you. They'd come before you heard them coming. And that was not very nice. But that was a short period of time. And that was offset in the war. I mean, that was the most meaningful time, I must admit, of life, because everything was so much more intense, and people were very nice to one another in the war.
Yes, there was
it was
something
really, there was a levelling down, and it was an amazing experience. I mean, I wouldn't want to go through it, but I mean, it was. I mean, we were very lucky, extremely lucky, because nobody close to us was in any way harmed. But no.
If you could go back and do it all again, is there anything you'd do differently?
Oh, I wouldn't. I'm much more confident now than I was then. I had never had very much confidence when I was young. I mean, not really. Not really. I mean,
so what would be
you bump into somebody and if it was their fault, I'd apologise, that sort of thing. I mean, I would like
that you'd like to have pursued your medical studies.
I would have done, yeah, but I don't think I'd have been the same person. And I don't know really whether I would have been at that stage quite tough enough. I don't know. Don't really know. No, I would have liked to have done.
The levels all